Hello, everyone. It's Charlton. So I want to continue to look at the Mollie Tibbetts case again tonight, and there's some new information. Well, mostly that the father gave another interview to Fox News. I think he spoke with ABC as well, and he just kind of talked about his own opinions about the case, and he continues to believe that Mollie is alive. And actually, I mean, I'm going to paraphrase now, and then I'll read through some of the specifics of what he said, as well as play this like 46-second clip of it. That as time goes on and her body hasn't been found, he actually becomes sort of more confident that she's still alive. Obviously, there's no way of knowing that, but that's what he believes, and he actually states some pretty specific opinions about what he thinks maybe happened, and I'm inclined to agree with some of his logic. I really am, and I'll tell you some of my own thoughts kind of throughout this. But I mean, he thinks that the person who took Mollie knows her, and that initially maybe Mollie actually went willingly, and that now at this point, like the person at this point, the person doesn't know how to get out of this situation that they've put themselves in, and come forward maybe, and and that maybe this person also just misunderstood Mollie's intentions, and it just has just completely snowballed, totally out of control. And I mean, early on, very early on in this story, I had my own ideas that I didn't express, and I'm not going to express them now, except in very very vague terms. And and both the two ideas that I had both revolved around somebody that knew her. And one specifically, one of the ideas that came to me kind of sort of second uh, was that it was somebody that knew her and that she had a secret relationship with that nobody else knew about except her and this other person. And that not even her boyfriend knew about it. And that's why he wouldn't know about any of the circumstances of it. And in addition to that, it's a secret relationship that Mollie wouldn't want anyone else to know. And that I'm coming back to that a little bit, and I strayed from that, and so but I'm kind of coming back to that this idea. That doesn't mean it's true. I'm just and I before I was completely moving away from it, but I am coming back to it, and so let's just read through some of the things that Mollie told Fox News and ABC. I think he spoke with Fox News earlier in the day, and then ABC caught up with him later in the day and kind of got the same version, but just with slightly different words. Let me play the video, just a quick clip of him actually saying some of these things, so that you can get to see him see it for yourself. So.
Early on, I wasn't as hopeful as I am now. But I think the circumstances of this disappearance are so unusual that the solution will be even more unusual. It's totally speculation on my part, but I think that Mollie is with someone that she knows, that is in over their head, that there was some kind of a misunderstanding about the nature of their relationship, and at this point they don't know how to get out from under this. My 2 cents is that no one went into that house to hurt her. My belief is that she left willingly with someone she knows.
Okay, so there's a lot to that, and I mean that's the bulk of what he says in this Fox News report. It's totally speculation on my part, but I think Mollie is with someone that she knows that isn't over their head. I mean that I don't want to repeat exactly what he just said. It's same thing over at I do really believe that what happened to Mollie wasn't that someone set out to harm her. I think because they haven't found Mollie, that Mollie is still someplace and we can get her home. And so ABC actually asked him, when asked what would he say to anyone who has taken her, Rod Tibbetts responded, "You've made a mistake. We've all made mistakes. Don't compound this. Work your way through this. Listen to Mollie." So, you know, my thoughts on that are that I kind of I'm sort of in agreement with him. I am, and but I also would say that 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 can only there's not a there's not a ton of people that could be. It's a fairly small group that I think that could be, and I mean they either went to the house and then covered their tracks by taking, I think, some other things, maybe by going back to the house. That's what confuses me, is things she went jogging with are still missing. So, the armband, her jogging clothes, the earbuds and the iPhone. Um, the iPhone certainly would be, but the earbuds are. I mean, these are the things she went jogging with, the jogging shoes. So they're still missing. So whoever she left with, she either had that on when she left, or the person decided to come back and take that. You know, there's the issue of the red shirt, the fact that she was on her laptop studying Roman civilization. Because in one of her tweets early in her Twitter feed, and I've looked through a lot of her tweets, she talks about taking classes over the summer and studying like Roman topography, and that everyone else is out having fun while she's having to study, but she'll be it'll pay off because in her next 2 years she'll have to take less credits to graduate or something like that. So you know I don't know. It's just hard to add it all together. If she was with somebody there, um, why would the jogging clothes be taken, the red shirt and stuff like that? I agree with him. I do. I just can't add it all together. Basically, I'll what I said in the beginning is I think that I think it was a relationship that it was secret. If this is the case, um, and that Mollie wouldn't want anyone to know about. And because of that, she even might have been sort of gone willingly because this other person didn't was ready to expose her, and just use that against her to get her to go with them. So, you know, the red shirt, because the mom says she has two red shirts and they're at home. They're accounted for. She says there may be a third that was at her boyfriend's. That's possible, and we don't even know. I think it's been confirmed that a red shirt was in fact found at the farm, near the hog farm, when the guy was mowing his ditch. So I think that's confirmed that there was a red shirt. We just don't know if it belonged to Mollie. But you know, uh, it could be that it could be that it's somebody that has a red shirt too. You know, and I mean, if this guy's right, um, it could be that if her father's right, it could be that the person is waiting for the media to die down to come forward. Because of the massive. I don't know. I'm really hoping that he's right, and but I think he might be. I really do. All right, did I cover it? I mean, I can't out these all these details. The SUV, the black SUV, you know, which maybe it's not an SUV. Maybe it's something that looks like an SUV. Uh, driving around was spotted by the neighbor who lives at a block down from where the boyfriend lives at between 11:30 p.m. and 1 a.m. Wednesday, the night she went missing, or the night she was last seen. There is some confusion in the reporting for me at least. You know, just in terms of what the father actually said, because in one report it says here, and the reporter, I'll play it for you in a second, is just repeating what Mollie Tibbetts' father said, according to this reporter, who's been very good, actually. I think it's Matt Finn. I think that's Matthew Finn. I think that's his name. I can't remember. But over here at the Des Moines Register, which is actually referring to the Fox News story, it says, in one case, they're saying he thinks she might have gotten in the car willingly, and in another version of it, they're saying that he thinks whoever went into that home didn't go in there to hurt her. So that's where I'm just saying there's some confusion. Was she taken, on the street while she was jogging, or she just got into a car willingly, or did this take place at the house, and it could be either, and it could have been I'm more inclined to believe like jogging, she gets into a car willingly, and then the person comes back to the boyfriend's house later that night to cover their tracks for whatever reason, and that I can't imagine goes on the computer to make it look like she's studying, but that seems like a major stretch on my own part. But I don't know, and just grab some things, grab the red shirt. I just don't know. But I'm just trying. This is the problem with all the information, like the SUV, the black SUV. Then you try to make it fit when, in fact, the black SUV may have just been nobody. Nobody that had anything to do with this. But but maybe it did. So. But another thing, and I will play, just so you believe me, that this is what Fox News was reporting, that they said that, Mollie Tibbetts' father believes she may have got into somebody's car willingly. I'm belaboring the point, but again, here he says, my 2 cents is that no one went into that house to hurt her. Rob Tibbetts told the television station. The television station is Fox News, so it's just some conflicting reporting. Adding he believes she left willingly with someone she knows, But I noticed over at the over at ABC, who I think he spoke to after Fox News, I really do believe that what happened to Mollie wasn't that someone set out to harm her. Wait. Okay, so he's basically saying we need to give this person, let them come forward their own way, kinda. It says Rob Tibbetts said that as the search for Mollie continues, it's also important to give that individual the freedom and the space to process this and to get themselves out of this amount of trouble, because they get into a deeper amount of trouble. So, all right, let me play this and then just kind of wrap it up for the night.
Anyone with any information to come forward. He says he believes that Mollie Tibbetts might have got into a car willingly, and that the person she got into the car with perhaps misinterpreted the nature of their relationship and then made a horrible mistake. Here is Mollie Tibbetts' father.
The longer we go without finding Mollie, the longer we go without finding Mollie's body, the more hopeful we are that she's alive somewhere, and going through something.
Okay, so that doesn't necessarily mean that she is still alive, but I do agree with that logic to some extent. That obviously, if you did find her body, right there, and then it's done. But as time goes by and the longer it goes without finding the body, I'd be more inclined to believe she's alive than the other way around. Okay, all right. That's let me just end it there, and I hope he's right, and I'm in agreement with him to some extent, a fair amount, a pretty good extent. Thanks for watching my videos. Please subscribe to my channel. Give me a like down below, and I'll see you in the next video. Later, man.